Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. When neighbors can't step outside without a worry, a community calls for answers. A troubling situation has them demanding action. Plus, an Illinois deputy is on trial following a shooting last year. His partner now testifying. On the latest as the U.S. continues its offensive against international drug trafficking.
And for your Thursday, we have another nice kind of warm day, kind of similar to yesterday, Wednesday, with highs in the upper 80s. But if that's not enough for you, we've got some rain coming our way this weekend, and maybe a lot of it. All that in the weather coming up.
Yesterday started the first day of girls basketball practices across the state of Texas, and we're going to hear from the Cuero Lady Gobblers later on in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Thursday morning. And let's see, yeah, the weather, it got warmer. It's still a little humid.
Still a little warm and humid.
So I'm hoping for, let's see, I want a high of maybe 60 on Halloween morning, maybe.
Okay, I don't know if I can give you that, but we do have a front coming away just 2 days before Halloween, and I promise we're going to look at all of that later. It seems like we always have something on Halloween, doesn't it? But before any of that fun stuff gets here next week and also this weekend, we got another nice cool morning out there. Looking live in Victoria. It's 66 degrees right now. Dew point is 2 degrees off at 64. Still bringing us that high humidity of 93%, but not enough to worry about fog this morning. You can see visibility says being reported at 10 miles this morning. That means no fog, so don't worry about that. Also, don't need to worry about a jacket just yet. I know it's October, but we're still in the upper 60s. Some of us in the mid 60s, but also some of us in the warmer mid and upper 70s. We're talking about you, Port Lavaca, Palacios, and Calhoun County, because y'all are right next to the warm Gulf water, which is sitting at 80 degrees. And y'all also have southeasterly winds, to which these winds will bring us moderate humidity today, and it's going to also bring us some warm weather once again, kind of like yesterday, but the humidity is high right now. But the moderate humidity this afternoon will bring us a chance for rain. So if you're sitting in your kiddos at the door this morning, we'll be looking partly cloudy, but we will have that chance for rain, and we'll look at those details next.
A developing story out of Seadrift. A missing fisherman had multiple crews searching for him last night. Texas game wardens, U.S. Coast Guard, DPS, Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, and local emergency response agencies work together in San Antonio Bay. Officials say the weather and water conditions are making the search dangerous. Officials are asking people to not head out on their own to help. A volunteer check-in will be set up at Swan Point in Seadrift at 7 this morning to continue the search. A Victoria woman says a pack of dogs left her feeling unsafe in her own yard. She says they surrounded her Wednesday afternoon. 25 News Now weekend anchor Amaya Norman spoke with her about the incident.
How long has this been happening?
Over a year, I think. Yes, it's been happening. It's just gotten worse.
But Linda Cantu says what started as a peaceful afternoon quickly turned frightening.
So I was picking pecans. All of a sudden, the neighbor across the street, all the dogs came at me, and I'm talking about more than 8 of them.
Cantu says she screamed for help as the dogs surrounded her. That's when a neighbor heard her cries and rushed over with a bat, swinging to scare the dogs away.
A neighbor about 3 houses down, she came and actually she helped me, because if she wouldn't have helped me, they would have attacked me, you know. And I was so shaken. In fact, I'm still shaking a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Neighbors along Jecker Street says it's not the first time something like this has happened. They say packs of dogs have been roaming the neighborhood for years, creating fear every time someone steps outside.
There's have been children that walk by here, walking. They're scared, you know. They'll run through here. And the dogs come out of nowhere. They're from big ones to little ones.
Residents express the dogs come from a nearby property, claiming the owner keeps around 20 dogs that often roam around free.
And I've been here for a long, long time, and it's affecting me where I can't even come outside. Yes, I finally had enough, and I'm actually scared. You know, I'm scared.
Residents are pleading for local authorities to step in and find a solution to keep their neighborhood safe. Amaya Norman, KAVU-TV, 25 News Now.
Victoria County Animal Services is seeing a troubling trend. More than 1,500 animal bites reported over the past 4 years. Most of those bites come from dogs and cats, often while the pet was with its owner. So far this year, there have been 235 reported bites, with numbers ticking up during the summer. That averages to about 27 bites a month. Animal control officers say it's a reminder for pet owners to stay alert and handle animals safely to help prevent future incidents. Judge Rodney Durham announced he's running for re-election as Justice of the Peace in Precinct 2. Durham was appointed in 2021 and elected in 2022. He oversees civil and criminal dockets, conducts inquests, issues emergency mental health orders, enforces truancy laws, and magistrates detainees at the county jail. As a sixth-generation Texan, Durham holds degrees from West Texas A&M and the South Texas College of Law. He previously worked at the Victoria County District Attorney's Office. Now to the powerful testimony at the murder trial of a former Illinois sheriff's deputy. ABC's Mola Lenghi has the latest as the deputy's partner from that day takes the stand.
Sheriff's Office.
This was the moment deputies near Springfield, Illinois responded to Sonia Massey's house after she called to report a possible prowler. Things escalated when deputies told her she could take a pot of boiling water off her stove.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Shots fired!
In opening statements yesterday, prosecutors argued Deputy Sean Grayson shot and killed Massey with unlawful justification. Grayson, who did not turn on his body camera until after the shooting, could be heard explaining the situation later to responding officers.
You shot her?
Yeah. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came out with boiling water.
Massey's family says she struggled with mental health problems. Grayson's lawyers insist he believed that he would suffer great bodily harm or death if Massey had thrown that pot of water. They say he was acting in self-defense. But a key witness took the stand yesterday for the prosecution. Grayson's partner that day, Deputy Dawson Farley, testified Massey never did anything that made me think she was a threat, telling jurors it was Grayson's actions that raised my sense of awareness.
Grayson has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Testimony resumes today. Mola Lenghi, ABC News, New York.
The U.S. military struck suspected drug vessels in the eastern Pacific Ocean this week. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the attack killed 2 men on Tuesday. It's the first known operation in the Pacific since President Trump kicked off a new offensive against the drug trade. Hours later, Hegseth said the military struck another vessel in the eastern Pacific Wednesday, killing 3 men. The U.S. has imposed sanctions on 2 of the largest oil companies in Russia. It comes after President Trump confirmed a meeting with Putin was canceled. Rosneft and Lukoil, as well as some subsidiaries, are part of the sanction. President Putin's continued refusal to end the war in Ukraine has also played a key role in the decision. That's according to the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. Victoria County Elections Administrator Margetta Hill is retiring. The Victoria County Elections Commission will meet Tuesday to accept her notice of retirement and plan next steps to fill the Elections Administrator position. Hill was appointed to her position in 2019. And here are some of the top headlines in the Quail Record. DeWitt County focuses on emergency preparedness, and scary Schuyler Street expands its annual Halloween display. To read these stories and more, visit DeWittCountyToday.com. And remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It's 6:38 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A Texas-based company is making it easier than ever for families to get creative and discover new places this season.
I'm ABC's Perry Russman in Washington. Some Republicans now questioning the timing of President Trump's White House construction as the government shutdown drags into day 23. That story coming up.
And also coming up next after the break and the short-term forecast, you heard me say today we have a slight chance for rain. So coming up next, I'll tell you just when I think that rain might be here. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday. For your Thursday, I hope you all enjoyed Wednesday's weather, because today we're going to be looking pretty similar to that, only just a little bit warmer, and we'll also have a little bit better of a rain chance, which we'll look at here in a second, because our rain chances for today and tomorrow, Friday, and mainly for Saturday are going to be skyrocketing thanks to this mid-level low pressure system that you can see spinning counterclockwise it's actually right about over Las Vegas right now in southern Nevada and northwestern New Mexico or Arizona. But that low you see right there is going to ride right over the Rockies going into this weekend over the next 48 hours. And that's exactly what's going to bring us our good chance for storms, which I promise we'll look at here in a little bit. Because before any of the messy stuff gets here on Saturday and a little bit on Friday, for your Thursday, like you heard me say, we actually got not too bad of a day, but with a rain chance. And that chance today is going to be at 20%, 20, for maybe a few spotty showers trying to form around the area between 11 a.m. up until 4, 11 to 4, 20%, 20 for a few spotty showers, as you can see right here. But after 4, right here, you can see rain activity will start cutting off, and the same with the clouds, and we'll be looking mostly clear in the evening time around sunset, and then clouds will pick back up to partly cloudy for overnight tonight, and we'll also have a 10%, 10 chance for rain in the overnight. And then tomorrow, you heard me say it earlier, the chance will rise back to 50%, 50 for scattered showers around the area. And before that gets here, though, for the 80% of us that doesn't see the rain, I'm thinking a high of 89 in Victoria. That's 7 degrees above where we're supposed to be, and everyone else about the same, upper 80s and low 90s. And then everything gets messy this weekend. Like I said, we're going to look at that next.
Yesterday, we officially kicked off the first day of practice for all Texas high school girls basketball teams across the state of Texas. And last year, we had 2 of our Crossroads teams in the Edna Cowgirls reach the regional semifinals last year before they lost to Bishop there 56-53. And Tidehaven with star senior from last year, Mary Johnson, reached the regional finals before they lost to the Uritzen Saguas. But one area team in the Cuero Lady Gobblers made a deep run last year, reaching the state championship for the first time in school history versus the Lincoln Tigers. They would lose, though, 60-32. So with that loss from last year, ready to fuel this team, head coach Amy Crane knows that this year is going to be a little bit different with a younger squad and expects them to have some early challenges, especially with their schedule to start off the year.
I think the only way you get better is playing tough teams, and those teams really have a chance to go a long way. And so I'm excited for our young group to play teams of that caliber. It's only going to make us better. We're going to need to grow up, and we're going to need to grow up fast.
Now, along with challenging teams, they're going to play in their non-district schedule. Crane Lady Gobblers are ready for a great 2025-2026 kind of school year again for this team, and I think they're going to do very well. Again, they had a young squad, but I think with the leadership there from Coach Crane and a couple of those, again, 4 senior leaders, they might have a good season for the Lady Gobblers. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. The only sign of progress in Washington, D.C. is the demolition of the East Wing at the White House. ABC's Perry Russum is in Washington, D.C. as the government shutdown drags into day 23 with no sign of ending.
This morning, sources tell ABC News the entire east wing of the White House could be torn down by this weekend. President Trump destroying part of the historic building, clearing space for his 90,000 square foot ballroom.
In order to do it properly, we had to take down the existing structure.
Trump with a different message months ago.
It won't interfere with the current building. It'll be near it, but not touching it.
Congressman Jamie Raskin calling it a gaudy Marie Antoinette ballroom for the billionaires and CEOs. Hillary Clinton saying it's not his house, it's your house, and he's destroying it. The White House dismissing critics as unhinged leftists clutching their pearls. Now some Republicans are questioning the project as the government shutdown drags into day 23 and federal workers go without pay.
We're talking about building a ballroom when we're trying to get the economy squared away. Timing's bad.
California now deploying the National Guard to help give out food, as federal food assistance is about to run out for 42 million Americans. Democratic Senator John Fetterman breaking with his party in hopes of reopening the government. He says Republicans should invoke what's called the nuclear option, allowing the government spending bill to pass the Senate by simple majority instead of 60 votes. It comes as Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley speaks for more than 22 hours on the Senate floor, accusing President Trump of an authoritarian takeover.
We're in the most perilous moment. The biggest threat to our republic since the Civil War.
Back to the ballroom, President Trump says it will cost $300 million. He says it will be funded entirely by private donors. The list reportedly includes Google, with Apple and Meta as potential donors. Perry Russom, ABC News, Washington.
Families can explore local museums for free this fall. It's all thanks to a new program from H-E-B. At De Leon Plaza Wednesday morning, the company launched its Explore More initiative. H-E-B is offering 50 free passes at each participating museum in the Crossroads area. The program runs through November and December. H-E-B says it's a fun way to help children learn and get creative. To see which museums are included, just go to crossroadstoday.com. And here are some of the top headlines in the Port Lavaca Wave. A nonprofit shares information to prevent bullying, and Seadrift selects a new police lieutenant. You should read these stories and more. Go to portlavacawave.com. And to submit a birthday wish, military hero, or athlete of the week, and to stay up to date about what's happening in the Crossroads, just come to our website. And if you see news happening, let us know by email. You can email our newsroom at staff@crossroadstoday.com, or you can even call us at 361-576-0026. And the time is now 6:47 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise. Record beef prices have everyone talking, from consumers to producers. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Adriel. Happy 6th birthday, Adriel. We love you, from Mom, Dad, and all your family.
Oh, happy birthday, Adriel. And also happy birthday to Ezekiel. Happy 8th birthday, son. We hope you have a great day today, and we love you.
And happy birthday to Deadpool himself. Canadian-born actor and producer Ryan Reynolds is turning 49 today.
That's right. Happy birthday to Ryan Reynolds. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
It's now, let's take a look. Let's see, it's 6:48 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw the 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you saw for Saturday this weekend we have an alert day officially in effect. But it's going to go for 2 separate times of the day on Saturday. It'll be for the early Saturday morning hours of Saturday, but also Saturday afternoon. And that'll go for all 13 of our Crossroads counties, to which y'all could expect is possibly some heavy rainfall. That's going to be our main threat. 2 to 4 inches of heavy, possibly even flooding rainfall, but also possibly some strong wind gusts up to 60 miles an hour, and also maybe some pocket change size hail. That would measure about an inch or less in diameter. So don't really need to worry about too much in the hail category, more so in the wind and also the heavy rain department, which we're going to look at more detail here in a second, because why we're looking for some stormage on Saturday is because of this mid-level low. We just talked about it on satellite. It's currently over Las Vegas and southern parts of Nevada, but over the weekend, over the next 48 hours, that low is going to travel right over the Rocky Mountains and park itself right there in North Texas for Saturday. And with winds at the surface coming out of the Gulf, gusting at 25 miles an hour at times tomorrow, Friday, a bit breezy, and also winds above our heads and the upper atmosphere out of the west, out of the Pacific, that's going to bring a lot of moisture into the atmosphere to work with some heavy rain. And that's why that's our main threat for next week or this weekend. Now, if that heavy rain is not enough to get you excited, how about a real, and I mean a real one, a real fall cold front? We're talking next week, of course, for the week of Halloween. Here's Wednesday, 2 days before Halloween. We're expecting a front to come through probably Tuesday night, but possibly Wednesday night, and that should drop our highs down into the low 80s and maybe upper 70s. We'll look at all that later, because here's that line of storms that's going to come through on Saturday, and also the thunderstorms for the afternoon. Like I was saying, 2 separate time frames for the rain. Here's the first round getting here in the early morning. That's midnight. Here's 1 a.m. Saturday morning, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. and you can see a little bit messy out there for the morning, but in the afternoon time, you can see daytime heating will commence a few more storms to form, and that's why we're watching that. And we're going to look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
We turn now to high beef prices across the country. ABC's Andrea Fuji explains as farmers are not happy with the White House.
This morning, it's not just shoppers worried about beef prices. Farmers also worried.
We have a record low cattle herd.
And it's because it hasn't been profitable the last decade.
President Trump says he has plans to import more beef from Argentina, buying up to 4 times the usual amount. He says more quantity will help lower beef prices for American consumers. In the meantime, Trump is calling on ranchers to get their prices down, saying tariffs he's imposed on other countries should be helping them.
We're going to do something very quickly and easily on beef to get it down. The ranchers understand that. They're so happy for what I've done. I saved them.
U.S. beef prices are at record highs. Ground chuck is almost 18% higher than last year, and sirloin steak 24% higher. Families are turning to cheaper options. Hamburger helper sales are up 14% this year. Farmers blame higher prices on extreme weather and other factors depleting the number of cattle. But some farmers warn importing beef is not the answer.
We should do everything we can to build our calf herd, build our beef numbers, and ultimately lower the price with domestic beef. I don't think we should be looking for new markets to purchase beef.
Farmers also worry about safety concerns involving foreign beef and different standards. In the meantime, the Trump administration says billions in farmer assistance programs will continue and a bigger bailout package is being discussed. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A chilling incident on a light rail is moving forward in the courts. The man accused of killing a Ukrainian woman on a light rail in North Carolina has been indicted by a federal grand jury. 34-year-old DeCarlos Brown was charged with knowingly and unlawfully using a dangerous weapon with the intent to cause death. The charge stems from the August 22nd killing of 23-year-old Irina Zaruchka, who was stabbed multiple times. Friday is set to be the first time some federal workers miss a paycheck due to the government shutdown. The Senate could vote this week on a bill to pay essential federal employees. They're not on furlough and instead are working without paychecks. It's unclear if the bill from GOP Senator Ron Johnson has enough support to pass. Last night, the Victoria Fire Department responded to a structure fire in the 600 block of Avenue D. Crews arrived to find heavy fire conditions threatening homes nearby. No one was hurt and crews were able to get the fire under control in about 30 minutes. The VFD Marshals Division remained on the scene to investigate the fire. Stay tuned to CrossroadsToday.com for more details. Early voting in Victoria County runs from now through the 31st. Voting hours are 8 to 5 on most days with extended hours from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Thursday and Friday, October 30th and 31st. For a full detailed list of where you can cast your vote, visit CrossroadsToday.com. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And as we get closer and closer to December, we're going to be searching for that sunrise. Parker, how's it looking out there?
That's right. We do have a nice pretty sunrise out there with us this morning. You can see here on our Victoria Live camera facing southeast. We even have a star out there. You can see the sun is not fully up just yet. We have a little star out there, peeking its face out there this morning. But other than that, we got a beautiful sunrise. So get out there and enjoy that. But also enjoy the lovely cool temperatures this morning. 66 in Victoria and dew point still 2 degrees off, bringing us that high 93% humidity. So maybe apply some hairspray to combat that. Otherwise today, get out there and enjoy another nice day. I think it's nice. Upper 80s. I think that's pretty nice. It's better than the mid 90s. Underneath, partly to mostly cloudy skies all day long, and also that 20% chance for maybe a few spotty showers from 11 to 4. Same thing in Victoria, but a bit warmer today, 89 for the high, and also a bit warmer in Cuero, 90 for the high. But if you have any decorations out for Halloween this year, I want to let y'all know, you heard me say it earlier, we're still expecting storms for this Saturday, maybe some of them strong, producing maybe some damaging wind gusts and maybe even some heavy rain. So if you have any like extension cords, any floating ghosts out in the trees, I might maybe take them in just for a day because Saturday's going to be stormy, and then we're right back to the sunshine and some cold fronts for next week.
All right, thank y'all for being with us. Thank you, Parker, and hopefully that search is successful this morning in Seadrift. Be sure to join Shauna, Don, Maclovio, and today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Have a great day.